Now that can help you when you moving experiences of my life.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Booby Taylor.
Moosa, King Moosa.
Gonna talk to King Moosa tonight. We're gonna find out his whole story and everything that's happening. It's the interview with Booby Taylor show. You know what it is, and you know how I do. All right, all right, all right. Okay, we're gonna add him. Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up on the Sunday?
Doing,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right, and you?
I'm all right. What's going on? What's going on?
I'm blessed, blessed for sure. I'm
All
happy.
right. Thanks for coming on and wanting to do the interview with me. I really do appreciate that. I was sitting here jamming to your music and everything. 13 Summers. I like that one right there.
But that's fine. Yeah, that's that heart. That's that heartfelt. You know, that can't go
Right.
wrong. Can't go wrong telling the truth for real.
Right. So how was your Sunday so far today?
Oh man, a whole lot of rest.
All right. That's what Sunday is, resting day.
Sunday is that rest day, man. That time to like just reflect and see where you finna go this next week for sure.
Exactly. Like to shout out to CC Vance for setting the whole thing up. She sends me artists to talk to, and I really do appreciate her and everything. So now let's get to your story and everything. Tell us about you and your story and what's going on.
Oh man. Well, my name is King Moosa. I'm a hip hop artist. My story begins Rockford, Illinois. Born and raised. At the age of 14, I end up being involved in a gun deal going wrong, where I end up subsequently getting 25 years in prison at 100%. The injustice in that is that I was 14 years old, you know, and being subjected to harsh sentencing schemes that was only meant for adults. And so,
Right.
so during my incarceration, I just became an advocate for juvenile justice for real. You know, when it came to art, I'm speaking out that way. I'm speaking out through poetry. I'm speaking out through spoken word. Anyway, people would listen for real. And
Right.
me and my partner at the time, Jesse, I got a shout out, man. We started King Moosa Project. And through the King Moosa Project, we just, you know, I do stuff like this, but over the phone. And so we were speaking engagements, we're talking to high school kids, or I might do a spoken word event where I'm spitting poetry with renowned poets, you know what I'm saying, across Miami.
Right.
So yeah, it was just a bunch of movement around my case, and not only mine, but other juvenile situations like mine. So yeah, eventually through like dedication, hard work, and just determination of getting my what I felt was wrong, right? Because my thing was this: ain't no way that a 14-year-old should be treated like a 40-year-old man when it comes to the court system, right? Because at 14, I'm looking at it like this. I couldn't go walk in the store and buy cigarettes legally. I couldn't go buy alcohol product legally because my brain wasn't developed as that of an adult. So why is it when you commit a crime, all of a sudden y'all like, yeah, we're going to treat him like an adult and get him, you know, all of these crazy amount of time. So yeah, so I just brought a lot of awareness from that standpoint. Eventually clicked, but at first I had to go through a lot of no's. Like my appeals was denied, post-conviction was denied. They told me I didn't have enough merit. And so eventually, like when COVID hit, I had already had my petition to the governor on his desk, and so they was looking for ways to get people out of prison. And I guess I was a low level offense, and they a low level risk rather. Somebody who wasn't in the way, man. Somebody who was ready, and they released me in April 2020. I came home, man. For sure, and it was a blessing, man. It was a blessing, and ever since then, I just been putting in work, like giving back, because without love and support, I wouldn't be here. So I try to show as much love and support, you know, as I possibly can.
Right. That is awesome, because at a time like this now, where it just seems like so hectic, and things going on in the justice system, it's never been fair before, and it's not really going to catch up you right now. you know, for someone like you who was on the inside, saw what was happening, and to come out to make a difference, that's a lot, because a lot of people is counting on you to help them make a change in their life as well. So how do you feel like that? Like, that's like a big move to do. How do you feel, and that this is happening? So many people is going to be, you know, coming towards you about this, that, and the other. How do you know the difference, or wiggle out who gets help from who don't, or how does that work?
Well, honestly, I wish I could do more. You know, I got so many people's situation. As far as I try to help a little bit when I can. I still support my brothers that's locked up. You know, I still sure that I'm a helping hand. I'm still making sure they can stand on my shoulders when need be. But it can get tiring. You know, like you say, being the one everybody lean on, being the one that everybody seeking advice from, being the one that everybody try to leech off of. And like you say, it's like, it can get hard to decipher the difference. And so I just try to stay where love is close, you know, where I don't have to second guess it, where I don't have to like wonder, like, man, do this person love me? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just stay close to the, you know, and you know, new people, I let people come with open arms, but I don't treat everybody the same. You know, I don't give everybody me. Everybody ain't deserving of your time, effort, and energy. You know, and so yeah, as long as people like in alignment with the goal, that helps me. Like if you own this music journey authentically, I can tell the difference between somebody, because they'll be like, oh yeah, man, I want you to hear my music, and then they send it to you, and then you be like, all right, what else you got? Like, you ever released some music before? And then be like, no.
Right. They don't have nothing else.
So after I give you some advice, that's all I can give you. Like, man, you should go ahead and do it. But I'm not finna invest my time and energy in you. You're not investing your time and energy in yourself. You've been playing, you know? And so those guys, they come all the time, and I give them a little bit of game and keep it moving. There's other guys, like my boy CG Cooley. I see him, he was just typed in, man, that's one of the most dedicated artist that I know. So for him to ever called on me for anything, I know how hard he go for himself. I'm willing to give that same energy, you know. And so I decipher it like that. I decipher it off of how you approaching your own life, how you approaching your own energy.
What you doing for your own self? Because if you're not doing anything for yourself, why should I do something for you if you're not going to take the steps after I gave it to you to continue on further?
Exactly.
And that's where people they get lost and stuff, because you know, we're in the society world, whatever, now that some people, not a lot of people, some people just want you to do it for them. Just do it for me, you know, show me and start it. And, matter of fact, start it and finish it, and just hand me the check or the money or, you know, the good news and stuff like that. Just crazy. So how does your music fit into you being advocate activist?
You know what? What's funny for me, because I'm like with the music, I'm on a journey of voice, right? But I think that I'm etching close enough to start telling my story in such a way, right? Because I don't want to ever tell a story where people feel like I'm glorifying murder. I don't want people to glorify killing the community, any of those things. But I also got an obligation to being sincere enough to where you actually get it. So it's a lot of things I'm gonna have to touch on in the Black community that's, you know, that I even frown upon, but at the same time, I gotta paint the picture. You know what I'm saying? If the lake is blue, that's the color paint I have to use. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so so now when at 13 Summers, which is the album, it gotta be my first album. So when it's touch, I want to leave the fans with an understanding of what we really have to deal with. Not just stuff, because people be like, when we rap about our life in the hood, it gets glorified in a way, because we're really proud that we made through it. You know what I'm saying? We're really proud that
we made it through another day. So, you know, and so, you know what, honestly, from what because I be riding around and stuff like that. And when you see neighborhoods and areas that, you know, could do better, or the city or the state could fix them up better, those people that live within that community area, they're good. They're good. It's people that, you know, of course you want newer things, fixed up stuff, but they're living, not all of them, some of them have hardships and stuff like that, but some people are good. They're still making their life work. They're not letting it be told to them by, you know, what neighborhood they come from or what area they live from, you know, in and stuff like that. So, you know, to make a difference, to show that you can come up out of it. And then some people, they're so set in their ways and been in a certain circumstance so long, it's hard for them to make that change. So how do you help them make that change and move on?
Most definitely. It's funny you said that. I had watched this like a little clip and some explaining something real powerful. He had talked about a flea, and he talked about how high a flea actually could jump, right? And I think it's like 36. I'm crazy in the air. So he was like, when you put this flea inside a jar, a flea would still try to jump 36 feet in the air, but it would hit his head. It would constantly hit his head because this lid is on, right? So say what happens in correlation to the Black community is that this lid is on, so the flea got smart enough to not keep bumping his head, so it only jumps high enough to where it doesn't bump his head. So when the flea has kids and cousins and a family, they grow up thinking, this is as high as I can jump.
This is high as I can go, right?
This is high as I can jump, even though it's in them to jump 36 feet. Like it's in your DNA to be great. It's in your DNA to be powerful. We from our environment in such a way that we only think we could jump such high. You know,
we only can go this high.
So I feel like my job personally is to show people we can soar way higher. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, from the same cloth you from. I walk the same streets. I seen the same liquor stores. I, you know, got harassed in police. But I want to show people that if you change your mindset, you can change your ceiling. You know, I say I always hear the sky the limit, but to me, your mindset is. You know, as far as you can think is as far as you could go. And so that's why I go hard, because I know, you know, especially people from my hometown. I'm from Rockford, Illinois, and we don't have many people that's successful in different arenas. So I want people, especially the shorties, like be you, which is why I try to, like, I got to get back to my artwork, because that's one of the things that you don't see, quote unquote. When I say quote unquote, I'm going to say that thugs drawing, right? You don't see drug dealers drawing. You don't see people who, you know, are in your community do other things, right? So I want to show people that those things that make you, you can focus on that. You can focus on those things, and you could become.
Right. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Excuse me.
Yeah, most definitely. Cool.
Sorry about that. But yeah, you want to see and let people see that, you know, even though you see that, there's more going on with people. People know how to do stuff, but when you keep downing them and putting them down and putting them down, how do you know? And then that makes a person give up. And then all kinds of depression and all kinds of stuff like that, wrong activity, negative thoughts start coming in. So I see that you also said that you're talking about men's mental health awareness. What does all of that mean?
Oh, man. Again, when I was incarcerated, I used to, it's this thing that they call in the court system called mitigating factors and aggravating factors, right? And to give the people a quick analogy, I'm pretty sure they see, like, when mass shootings happen and like the white boy kills 9 people at a church or whatever, they dig up what we call mitigating factors. So they might say, yeah, he did shoot all 9 of them people, but he got bullied when he was 5 by his neighbor Cameron, right? Yeah. They cover all of these things and give him reasons and justify why the way he is, right? Yeah. So for me in mental health awareness, I try to do 2 things. I try to give people the reasons on why we are the way we are, because obviously something ain't right. Right. Obviously, the community is crying out in dire need of something. Right. The pain that we cause is letting us know, because we know that hurt people hurt people. So our violence is something we feel inside. So a lot of times in the Black community, mental health isn't talked about. We disguise it. A lot of people don't want to touch it. But the thing is, we will never get nowhere if people don't realize that we truly have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Right. The toxic masculinity that we can't even talk about our feelings, the way that that has driven people to literally be insane, because you know, you're a human. Forget being a man, you're a human. You're supposed to feel certain things. You're supposed to think certain things. You're supposed to act on certain emotions. And so when you suppress those, your body is going to, whether you believe it or not, you know, it's like if you had to pee and you didn't pee.
Right. Exactly.
There's going to be a consequence for that. And so in the Black community, we kind of shunned men for being men. Tell them that they soft for being showing emotions, and that's just, for me, that's one of the things that we have to teach people. We have to teach kids something different, man. And we got to teach them health. And so how does it look like to be healthy mentally? What does that feel like? You know, a lot of people go 45 years never knowing what it feels like to be okay mentally, because they've been coping, they've been drinking, they've been smoking, they've been running for 45 years, and they thought it was a way of life. They thought, oh yeah, we just play cards and we have fun. This is the Black way. No,
and then you also grow up like with you know, when you're a guy, a boy, a man, you're also always told you don't supposed to cry, you ain't supposed to do this, you're supposed to man up, you know, tough it out, you know, keep going through and stuff like that. So if you're programmed that way as a kid, you know, even if you fall down and cry, get up, shake it off. So with that being said, do you feel that that type of mental health awareness towards men was mostly put to like towards women, because women had babies, the older people, we just like didn't put that much attention on men to let them know it's okay to cry, you know?
Most definitely.
It's okay to have feelings and talk about your feelings and express yourself, other than the drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to let people know, because again, the reason I brought up the court situation was because in court, all of the things we go through as children and the way that we express it in school, we got in trouble in school, I got into a fight because it was crazy at home. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy at home. So when we get in front of this judge, they judge us for the things we've been through. They be like, oh yeah, you've been crazy since the 6th grade. Like, you deserve more. Like, nah, that was me telling you as a child I was going through something.
There was a problem. So that's when they start building these jail cells and mental institutions, because they're basing their facts off of a child being born to 1st grade.
Yeah.
You know, so that is like how they size us up. And then when you get caught into that circle and you have no real help, you most likely sometimes don't get out. And if you do, it's such a struggle, because there's no extra, you know, outlet to go. So where would you tell men to go, you know, to help themselves before they get too crazy?
What I would say, this will go a long way, and that's be true to yourself, right? Be true to yourself. In the moments you don't feel like being around people, don't be around people. When somebody make you uncomfortable, be uncomfortable and move around, because that's your body telling you certain things. If you don't fit into a certain crowd, stop trying to force it, because only thing that happen is something bad. And so, because what's really happening is your body and the real you is telling you, like, oh yeah, I'm being around these dudes. You know what I'm saying? I don't like feel like this. And so go the opposite direction. So when you go the opposite direction, you just chill and you start to discover strength from within, because you got it. You possess healing quality. And so for me, I chose music. Music is my outlet. I can say anything, like Cooley said, like I can say anything on my mind in the music. And I use it as a therapy tool, and nobody questions, nobody be like, man, he's because I put it in music. And so find you an outlet that you can express that's healthy for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where you start. That's where you start. You know what I'm saying? You start to unpacked a lot of the things that we was taught, the toxic masculinity traits that we was taught, and this patriarchal system. What really happens is that it was an attack on Black men, not just by us, but before us. So they taught us on how to be. We didn't learn from each other on how to be. They taught us how to be, what's acceptable, what's not. We've been following that blueprint, and that's our problem. So I feel like we just got to look from within, for sure. Look at history, like go back before we were slaves. They always thought in America when we were slaves, like That ain't our
Right.
history.
And it started way before that. Right. It goes way
That.
back into generations and generations. So how do you break the generational curse? You know, because that's what they say it is a generational curse that continues to, you know, how do you break it when you have like so many broken families and stuff like that? How do you get the change to get started?
Be the change you want to see.
Uh-huh.
That's as simple as it goes, and that's for everybody, right?
Right.
Always it's so easy to look outside and be like, I don't like that. Walk
Yeah.
that path. Like if you don't like something, if you don't, you know, be the change you want to be, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the only way it's going to work. I can't convince you to change. It's not
Right.
possible. But if we both thinking like this is wrong, that's two people
Mm-hmm.
not going to do that thing no more. So
Right.
if you're being true to yourself, so be the change you want to be. And for me, it's just like continue to learn, understanding my place as I grow,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that I got a responsibility that's bigger than myself.
Right.
Understanding I'm doing this not only for me, but I'm doing this for a younger me. I'm doing this for a child that wish he had guidance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody with my stature was able to give him a chance or give him the right words, because I remember countless of times where I needed
Uh-huh.
to hear the right thing and I never heard it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So my
Right.
job is to continue, like as I do these interviews, is just like continue to be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the rest will work out. I might not be able to change the world, but if I
Right.
can change the right people, they could change the
They
world.
can change the world as well. So like you just had said that, you know, you might needed a word or somebody to tell you something that might have turned you in another direction. So because of coming from the circumstance and the situation that you're in that got you doing what you're doing now, do you now see that, hey, they didn't have nobody to give them the word neither? That's why they couldn't pass it on themselves.
Yeah, and now I remember that happened to me. It was like an aha moment, right? Because it was at a point
Mm-hmm.
I almost blamed my elders, like, why y'all ain't tell me? Why y'all? They didn't
Right,
know. They didn't
right.
know. They was leaning on their own understanding. Some people not even know how to be a parent, but they had children, so they had
Right.
the whatever level that they had that child on is the level they can give their kids. That's all they have.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we go generations and generations without somebody stepping
Mm-hmm.
out about teaching like toxic things. Like we don't even
Right.
know that we teach each other so many toxic traits. Nobody ever want to ask questions because we got this crazy sentiment like my mama taught me this or my granny taught me this, and we
Right.
stand on that. Like, our granny
And
taught
we
us.
stick on that. My mother said it, and your
Yeah,
mother, you know, ain't
that's
here no
law.
more, but you still holding on to that word for 90 years ago.
That's law.
And life has changed, you know,
Yeah,
situations change. The world changes, you know, from things that I know and happening now, you know, I'm like, wow, it's crazy out here. We didn't do it like that back then.
yeah.
And then to go for in the future, I could imagine, God will, I'm still here to see what the future is going to hold and what's going to happen then. But see, you're going to be that change in the future. So you're going to be a part of that change. What advice can you give someone who's struggling or, like you said, don't have someone to tell them, you know, what advice could you give someone to do?
My first thing, like when I say be you, I authentically mean that. I mean, listen to the things that make you comfortable, the type of
Mm-hmm.
make you comfortable. Because as children, like I used to like to draw, I used to like to rap, I used to like to perform. These were things that were
Mm-hmm.
me. Like I didn't have to force them. I was automatically good at
Right.
them. I automatically had a vibe towards these certain things, but I didn't put my energy towards them. I put my energy towards
Mm-hmm.
what was cool, towards people that wasn't necessarily like me, but I wanted to be like because I saw they got all the attention. But now as an
Mm-hmm.
adult, I understand that attention is not real, right? All of the
Right.
people that was important then are nobodies now. And so
Right.
just like them, had I just focused on things that made Moosa, I would have way well off than trying to
Right.
emulate or imitate somebody else. I think that's where you start for people that's looking for guidance. Look from within.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you be you, the world is a better place. And then respect, walk with respect. Walk with respect. Once you figure out
Mm-hmm.
things, do those, make people respect you for you. And then I think
Right.
the world will open up for you. And then when it comes to just growing and healing, just continue to learn. Don't learn. When you wake up, it's an opportunity to learn something new. Because they teach us, they teach us that school is in session now, then it's not for the summer. Then school is in session. Learn every day. Every day you wake up for something in different ways. You don't got to necessarily get it from the teacher. You could get it from
you got to get it from life, and you got to get it from your own self, because once somebody tells you something, you have to be able to open up your mind and explore and go further than the answer that someone gives you. If someone tells you something and that answer don't satisfy you, don't just sit there and just accept what anybody says. Once people tell you something, now it's time to go on another journey of finding out and looking for what fits you. Because what works for you is not going to work for me. But what's going to work for me is that advice that you initially gave me. And if I open the door to go through it, then I will find another path, another journey, a better solution situation like that.
Yeah. Then when you do that, you're going to be able to give the next person, like, oh yeah, this worked for me. And then, like you say, it ain't necessarily about the thing that worked, but it was the action. So if you tell people, whatever that means for them, when they do it, they realize, like, oh damn, this world was right here the whole time. I just have to go right instead of keep going left. And so advice is real.
And don't be a follower. Stop just following. Everybody's just following like the next trend. What this person is doing, what's on TikTok, what's on Instagram. Some people, like you said, life has just trained us just to follow what was put in front of us. We didn't know because we didn't have somebody to say, oh no, you don't have to do it that way. You can do it this way, but learn the format, the plan at first. And then you could, of course, add on your little if, ands, and buts into it. Right. So what's your message to everybody? What's the message that you want everybody to know about King Moosa? And tell us your name, the meaning. I know you said in the beginning, the crew were you all working, but tell us the meaning of your name and what's the message that you want everybody to know about you, your mark that you're leaving on us.
Most definitely. King Moosa. All right, so let me see how to break this down. My granny actually called me Moosa. She had passed away when I was like 2. And so I never got a chance to ask her. Nobody knew, like, what was to Moosa? Like, my mama don't know. And so, like, just, again, learning. I found out that Moosa actually meant Moses. And then I dig deeper, and I figured out, okay, yeah, it means Moses in Arabic. But where did she get it from? And then I was dig deeper, then I seen Mansa Moosa. So Mansa Moosa was like the richest man ever in history. The richest black man in recorded. He was the emperor of Mali, and back like in the 1300s. And he controlled all the gold. He had like the gold. Yeah, he had so much gold, so much salt. Like, and so he like right now he estimated to have been worth $400 billion back then. So yeah. So for me, I feel the richness in my name. I feel that that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same. When somebody say a bad word, you feel it, right? When somebody says good word, you feel the energy. When somebody when somebody say Moosa, I feel the energy. It's the same thing. So and so, man, I'm appreciative of my granny for passing me. Now, had she not even meant to say Moosa, because nobody knows.
Nobody knows, right.
Just whatever. But as life goes on, I definitely feel the importance of my name. And then me personally, I want to leave a mark on my name. I want people to understand that King Moosa was a warrior. King Moosa came from up under like insurmountable odds, like unbeatable odds. Through 25 years in prison, I ended up leaving 20 years early. But not only that, like my belief in myself is what kept my head strong. Like, my belief in myself through having to spend my 21st birthday in there, not ever having to get the chance to graduate, not being mom, get married, all type of things I had to miss out on, tragedies from losing friends. I made it through all of that. So I want people to understand, when they look at my story, is that anything is possible, and that your mind could make anything come into existence. Never up, believe in yourself. Like that's my whole, like, I want to be an inspiration. I want people to read my story and be like,
all right,
I
yeah.
can do this. I can do this, right? Because
Yes, you
I
can.
to get where I want to go. I don't want nobody to
Right,
think anything is impossible. So
right,
when you,
right.
rather you listen to my music, rather you read an article on me, I want you to be like, damn, like he did that. And so I can do it too. I
Mhm.
believe like he did. And so it's belief in whatever you do. Like, even if you just want to be a great father, you don't
Right,
have to have the best job. Just start to learn how to be a great father and implement it into your life and become better.
right.
Allow your past mistakes to be the only thing people know you for. Don't allow your worst mistake to be the thing that guides you your whole life. No, I made
Right.
that happen. But guess what? I got a newfound day, an opportunity to be better, and that's what I'm gonna
To
do.
do it again. Right. I got a new start. Every day you wake up, there's a new start to make it better, make it right. If you didn't get it done yesterday, you can get it done tomorrow when you wake up. To just keep on going, because don't sit down, and then when you come from out of a struggle and out of a situation, because like you said, you could have been doing 25 years. That would have been your whole life, gone. By the time you come out, things would be so different. We don't know what technology would be happening, and you'd be coming into like a whole new world. So when you did get out, how was the change for you? Did you feel like how I just said, did you come out and it was like a whole new world? Oh, wow. Those few years that I was gone, man, stuff happened and changed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I did 13 years, and so when I came home, obviously the world had changed drastically,
Yeah.
right? Like, first off, the world that I wasn't familiar with at all, which was like social media, where people like, some people put more respect and love and honor towards a social media account than they do their real life. And so I had to get used to
Right.
that. Like, if people that I love like have an identity inside of this social media world that wasn't the
Right.
reality yet. And so like a lot of that, I was like, damn, this is different. You know what I'm saying? I got to get to
Yeah.
know that social media aspect of you,
Wow.
the real
Mm-hmm.
that part of it, man. And of course, technology just moves at a crazy speed. But it was easy for me to catch on. And I think because I came
Mm-hmm.
up, like, they had computers, when I came up in
They had
school.
they had some stuff,
They had
you
some
don't have
stuff.
some stuff up in there. So,
Right. So it was
you
different for
still
some
was in
guys,
touch
though.
with the world like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Some guys came home looking at the phone like it was an alien, because some guys went in before cell phones was a thing, came home when it was,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and they didn't know
You
how
come out, it's
to
like, wow, what's this? It's like I
do
saw it in the movies and stuff, and now it's like actually reality.
Yeah.
Family and friends, was they a great help to you? Did they, help you out? Was if it wasn't because of them holding on to you too, it could have wound up different at the same time?
Mm. Yeah, man. Family was a big support, big help in my return. Family, friends, my return to society. I wish the way that I was brought back into society. I wish every black man
Uh-huh.
has to deal with that, receive that
Right.
same mercy. But unfortunately, I know the resources that I was able to take advantage of. A lot of people don't
Mm-hmm.
get, and I get it because my story was powerful and everybody wanted to be a part of it. Everybody wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was blessed in that aspect. But with a lot of blessings comes curse too. So now I have all
Right. Right.
invested in me when I came home. Now I got their hand out like I was there.
Right.
I
Right.
was
Remember
there.
all them little.
Yeah,
Remember what I did for
remember I
you?
bought you that pair of pants in 2010. So
Exactly.
a lot of that come with it too.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. But all in all, it was love for sure. And I think without that love, I'd be in a dark place, because you got to understand, like, all of my senses were shot coming home. Like,
Mm-hmm.
started like overindulging in eating, overindulging
Mm-hmm.
with women, even because
Right.
this is the thing
Right.
that they suppress from us black
Right.
men so long. Like, and then you come and get exposed to it. You want to eat everything, every girl.
Mm-hmm. You want everything. You want all the food. You want all the women. You want
Everything. And so
right.
that's like the response, to all of them suppressed years. You want to just
Uh-huh.
everything, like expression. And so that first year was tough in those aspects, but I got those things under control now. But again, if it wasn't for love, support, family,
Right.
probably still be stuck in that cycle, which a lot of people do. A lot of people come home and they chase the past to where they end up back there.
Right,
You
right,
know?
right.
And so I'm glad that I have people that to see it like, okay, yeah, you was doing a little too much. Calm down. You know, here goes some help. Relax. You know,
Right.
this is going next. So I have family and people that cared enough to show me the next direction. So that was important.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. So the healthy mind, mental, everything, you're focused now, you're out there, you're helping other people, other men. Are you helping women too, or are you just focused just on men, or
No.
the message is just for everybody
You know
who can
what?
hear it?
Yeah, you know what? It's for everybody. I do got a an obligation, you know, I feel like. But I've been thinking a lot lately, like, because I do a lot for people that's behind bars, like my brothers. I've been thinking about the women, because I do a lot of work with women out here who have been incarcerated, and they are amazing women.
Right.
Like Willette Benford, she one of the most inspirational people you'll ever meet. We all know her real soon. She's doing amazing work. But yeah, I did a meditation event with Babes Only out of Chicago. So Babes Only was an organization. They do meditation and stuff, but only for women. Then this one day she was like, I got to do something with my people, with men. And so I was glad she reached out to me, me and my homie Vic Mensa, and we was able to bring a women's only space to a man's space. And we talked about mental health awareness. And then that kind of linked the two for me. It tried to tell me that the women in this with us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Y'all go through a lot to it. So I was exposed to the different pressures that y'all feel, the super woman syndrome that Black women have that I had no clue. I thought my mom was a superhero, and I relied on her like she was a superhero. She pretended to be a superhero, but women, you're a person. You don't have to be a superhero. You know what I'm saying? So just learning that, which gave me a sense of love towards women that I respect I didn't have before. So yeah, like as I grow, I definitely want to go hand in hand with women in this journey for real.
Right, right. So is there funding out there that can help your organization grow and keep, to be successful and help other people down the line? Is there help out there to help you to continue on with this?
It is. Throughout the years, always like grants. There's always grants that people could propose for, like in any city, when the money comes down and it's allocated towards it might be allocated towards gun violence prevention. We have to start asking questions to our aldermen, our senators, everybody. Like, how do we get some of this money? It's always some grants or something that you could write a proposal for. You get with somebody who know how to write proposals. And there's always money available for the Black community to come up out of, because they know we trying to come up out of the hole, and so it's there. Then you got people you can throw fundraising events and tell your story, let people know this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to do. Even if you don't have an organization, you could get funding to get the organization, and then you can work for your organization. So,
exactly.
So that's a way. Like, man, there's people out here that really do want to help. It's individuals who has a lot of money and organizations that got a lot of money. And I end up discovering this because when I came home, I did a lot of work for people, for different non-for-profits. And I was like, hold on, y'all using my story, and I'm doing up here and I'm rapping, and it's like, y'all just got all them donations and I ain't get nothing.
And you didn't get any of it.
Like, hold on.
And it's my story. Wait, that sounds familiar.
I don't want to make people cry. I want to get my money. But no. And so it taught me the game of how non-profits work. And so now it's like, okay, now that I know these things, now it's about just getting the right team around me. And acting on what you've now learned. So now that you had said that about your story, is it written down like a book where you can get it copywritten and all of that, stuff, so people won't take your story and use it for their own gain? That's what is there some way that you can do that you can make sure that your story is yours and could also be used as an example for other people to know, or other people to learn and teach other people
You know,
What's that?
you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. So I am actually working on a book with a close friend of mine out of Canada. Her name is Tiana.
Uh-huh.
We're working on a book called 14. And so basically it's a collection of my poems and my artwork, right? So
Mm-hmm.
page you turn, you're gonna have a poem, you're gonna have an artwork, both speaking from different realms but saying the same thing. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a dive into my story, an in-depth look into my story from my vehicle of expression. And so
Right.
yeah, but like when it comes to my story, like I told it so many times, like you can just type in King Moosa and you will find
Right.
in Design Conviction magazine. Chicago sometimes did a piece on me, like so yeah, my story just is continued to be told. And like you say, you got to grab your story by the horn, because people will tell it. And they'll tell
Right.
all these
They'll be
messages.
walking around like they you and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And you be looking at
yeah,
this
like,
telling you
yeah. So
your story.
I look forward to the movie script being written about my story.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think in
Right.
that space is the place that I would have the most mercy to tell exactly what happened.
Right.
The most mercy and understanding, because people could watch it, the whole picture, rather than just getting, even with songs.
Just the bits and pieces and out of a song. Right.
You might only get only like not the whole picture. You might get just like that part of Moosa, and it's like you didn't get the
Right.
whole.
Right.
For a movie, I will be able to tell the whole picture, and they'll be able to like, oh yeah.
Yeah, you can see it from the beginning to the end. But let me ask you this, because you said this happened to you from such a young age. Before you was in that situation, growing up, what did you think you wanted to be as a child? Before that situation came, and what was you thinking? Oh, when I get older, this is what I want to do.
It was two things, and they collided. I always wanted to be a basketball player. Then I wanted to be a drug dealer, right? And so the drug dealer came from the basketball player came from being exposed to Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson as a shorty, and I'm watching like, man, they cold, and I started emulating them. But then as I'm emulating them, I'm realizing like, hold on, this ain't getting me nowhere. But my cousin just started selling drugs 2 weeks ago, and he got nice shoes. He got all the girls.
Yeah, he got the money and stuff.
So it wasn't even from a bad standpoint. It was just like, oh, I want that too. So I started to wonder and started to learn. And the more I learned, I started to visualize and manifest a drug dealer. And so now it's like, damn, I want to be that too. But those worlds don't collide, as we know. Like you can't be doing like it's not gonna work. And so yeah, I wanted to be a hooper though. Like that was my real heart. That was my passion. That was my talent. I was good. I was like I was good. Like I was like top 3 from my neighborhood good. And that was as a kid. And that was like 3. Yeah, like man, basketball was it for me. And it was crazy because basketball was the thing I held on to the longest while incarcerated. Helped me keep my sanity, helped me stay true to me. So I got better in there. Like I was like NBA ready in prison. Like when I was like 23, like I was NBA ready for real. Like I was like, and so, but it helped me focus. It helped me continue to learn that hard work pays off. It helped me. So again, that's why I say, man, be you authentically, because that 14-year-old boy knew, like if I'd have just focused on basketball, wonder where my life would be.
Right. Wow. You have a powerful story, and thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Do you feel that you said everything that you want us to know now before the book and the movie comes out? Is there anything that you feel that, oh, you know what? I want to touch on this before, we end?
Really, I leave this message with people like, man, like, we as a black people, we can't keep shunning our black people who do wrong. So we got individuals that's locked up that we kind of like, that's in our family. They've been going in and out of jail for 5, they just their 5th time. We got to come and step outside of that being our crazy uncle that just F's up all the time. We got to ask ourselves, what is really happening? what's really happening in our communities, man? Like this ain't
Right.
nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This can't be right. We can't keep looking at every jail and there always is a 50% or higher black population. But any city you go in is a 50% or higher black population, but we only 15% of this country. It's not making no sense. And so we got to start just trying to inform ourselves. Like that's my challenge to people. Like if you can inform yourself, like when your brother or cousin that's locked up call, answer just questions. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
because when you show real interest outside of letting him call and asking for money, like dig deep and try to understand him and his world so you can really help him. Don't, because a lot of times we shun people so much that we forget that this is our loved one. We got to help him. Let's help him what we can do. Let's stop looking at him like an F up, and let's see if we can, let's show some.
So how we can let them come up at the same time. So now that you said that, when you see social media and it shows, of course, you see more negative than positive in any situation. So when you see them showing like pictures of people incarcerated and the guys running around doing, foolishness and stuff like that, then you have people like, well, why should I help? This is what they're doing up in there. And then you hear that they got more stuff sometime out in there than people have out here. So you're like, well, they living better than me. That's the mentality that, we think, but we're not actually knowing, because we ain't in those doors to know actually what's going on. But when you see like those crazy videos and pictures like that, I just recently started seeing pictures of incarcerated men being able to show family time, birthdays and stuff like that. That just started showing more than,
and so
the negative stuff running around.
The media is going to, and again, prison is prison. Prison is really like slave headquarters, if you ask me. And so when you, and again, all of these people who don't belong in prison is in prison. There's a lot of individuals who just really need help. They really, really was not right in school. They really was not right in family. But yet, when he committed a crime, that's where his life ends up. And so he's still mentally disturbed in prison. But not disturbed around a bunch of people who mentally disturbed. You're going to get chaos. You're going to get chaos. Ain't no way around it. And so, they're going to try to continue to paint an image, which is like they always do. Like, even with the words that we use on each other, we call each other nigga. They be like, oh, they call each other nigga. They do it. They beat each other up. They kill each other. We should kill them too. Nah. Because the truth
don't work like that.
It don't work like that. And the truth is, the reason why we are the way we are, nobody wants to pay attention. Nobody wants to pay attention to the conditions that we was raised in, with the results that poverty gives. All you got white people living in poverty. Guess what they doing? Committing crime too.
Right.
They committed crime too. They're not going to show that. They're not going to show you on TV, dog. White people.
They're going to show you all of that. Right.
You want to go see us acting crazy. Because they want this image to be pushed out. They want people to detach. They taught you that this was bad. You shouldn't be like them. So they're going to want you to look at your brother in a crazy light.
Right.
So for us,
like, I can kill my brother. That's how they want you to look at him. Like, I can kill my brother too. Whatever. And then it's just so
down, And so self-respect, learning more history, learning what was really happening, not what it appeared to be. Because a lot of times they're like, damn, they doing that. Why should I care about them? That's what it appear to look like. But what's really happening is they trying to make the best of their day, and they all depressed. The whole jail is depressed. They ain't saw their kids, they ain't saw their mother, they ain't around their brothers, they can't be a father. Like that causes depression. And so you're gonna respond in a certain way. You're gonna respond in a certain way. Then you got people that,
and then it's overcrowded. You just got so many people in there. There's no room to maneuver.
7 years. I was 17. He was 19. He had 67 years in prison. What can I tell him? When he like, man, this CO just disrespected me, I'm finna go across his head. What can I tell him? He got 67 years. So your actions start to come in line with your thoughts. Like, man, I ain't got no work here on earth. So your actions start to look worthless. So yeah, when you see a picture of a bunch of people in prison acting worthless, that's because y'all created an environment to where I feel worthless. And so again, man, we gotta heal each other though. You know, we gotta look at each other and see the compassion that's needed. We gotta look at it like, oh, damn, yeah, he in a messed up situation, but what can I do to help?
How can I help him out? How can I do something, you know, other than just sending commissary or, you know? So do you go back and visit and, you know, have groups, or are you able to do that and have like meetings and stuff like that, groups and stuff like that?
I'm real close.
Or do you have to wait for them to come home?
Yeah, I'm real close to a lot of individuals in prison that I'm not supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, parole and all of this stuff got different restrictions. But they're my brothers. Like, this the family I know. I was 14, 15, 16, 17. You know, I became a man around these people. So I'm not going to not talk to them. So when they call, I pick up. Right. I send pictures. I write every once in a while, stuff like that. If I could visit, I would go. Like, I can't wait. I'll be able to visit real soon, and there's gonna be a lot of brothers. I'm, you know, every once in a while, come pop up on, kick it with them. Just giving them a sense of life because they need it, man. Like it's they need it in there for sure. Wow. I'm an inspiration to so many people. Like, a lot of people be like, man, like, what keep you going? Because my fan base is so extensive. Out here might not even know me, but I got thousands of individuals right now that's playing my music every single day because they need to look in the mirror and see me and be like, he was just in his same cell. Now. So that part of it will always motivate me, and I'm always be here for them because I know that.
Because if you could do it, the next person can do it. You know, even if you, like you said, the other person has 67 years, if they see that you made a change and the change happened for you, and the time also changed on you where you got out earlier than the whole 25, like you said, that is an inspiration. Now I can watch you, I can grow. Oh, if that dude do it, I can do it too. You know, how do you fit the music in? Because what comes first? Now that you're home and this is what you do, how do you put the music in to balance it out?
I think
so you can still be an artist and an activist.
Yeah, I think the music is key, honestly, because we go through history again. History will tell us so much about ourselves. We go to Africa, look at the tribes, music, dance. Everybody dances. Everybody everybody feels the drums. Everybody, it's music. It's a celebration, and so much energy is passed through music. So my journey on music is to discover that person. When it comes to like, how can I reach the masses and tell them what I want to tell them, but make them feel inspired, just like I'm trying to do right now on this IG. I do that in my music, and so I might tell a crazy story or just give you some facts about the hood, but I'm gonna tell you in a certain way. Like, if you listen to 13 songs, yeah, I talk about a guy that's got 50 years. Yeah, I talk about people who got killed, but I'm telling people like, yeah, protect yourself. But I'm also in such a way like, man, you know, what I say, I be down to what I say, a lane catch me something, in a yacht. So it's like, to me, it's like you rather be floating on a yacht than let a lane kill you or get his name hot. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Change your focus. Change your focus. Because at the end of the day, rather the dude you in tour with you kill you or some kid kills you, they killed you. They killed you.
You're dead. They're not here no more. So what are you going to do?
Focus on up out of there, man. Focus on bettering your life. Yeah, the hood is the hood, but that ain't as far as you got to go. We grew up in that. Then we got to stay there. You don't got to stay there.
You don't got to stay there. You can go further than that, you know. Like, cause sometimes I ride around and you see some buildings that they're like dilapidated, you know, they're like falling down, and it's like maybe 4 or 5 apartments still up and people are like still living in them, you know, because they've been so conditioned just to stay within those walls. And then the complex is surrounded by a gate, and, you know, you grew up, your mama, your grandmother, nobody like really left. The city don't care, you know, until they want to move the building. then they'll come put you out. But
That's it.
it's like you said, it's a mental thing. Your mind gets conditioned that you can't go further. But then, you know, you might even have a nice car, and I still have, you know, good gear to wear and stuff like that. I do got nice sneakers, but I didn't come from up out of this because life just made it so satisfying that I can't go no better, but I can have on some gold.
Yeah.
I can have teeth, but I can't move up out of here.
Got to change ourselves, changing your environment and changing your ceiling sometimes. For me, I think a lot of people will understand that once they change their environment and they realize, hold up, the moment you change your environment, you'll see that your way of thinking was wrong. You'll be like, oh, damn, other people don't think like this in other places.
Right.
So you'll start seeing what healthy look like, even though you don't know the name healthy. And I say that, but you'll start, like, even with me, I moved out of Illinois and I stay in Charlotte now, right? And so when I go to Charlotte, when I go outside, I see people walking in the parks with their dogs and they, you know, and back home, you won't see it. You know why? Because everybody's scared. They shoot people, females getting shot, babies getting shot, everybody getting shot. So you don't even see, kids don't even play in the park where I'm from. It's that bad. And so, if a child grows up and he's 7 right now, this is the life he's knowing. This is the life that he's growing into.
This is all he's going to know. He's going to know,
And so, like, man, you got to get out of rock for shorty, like, you know. And it's scary. It's scary to be the one. Like, I'm the one. Nobody else is doing it. Ain't nobody else like, man, we finna take this leap of faith, and I'm gonna be the one, and I'm gonna stand on it. And it was scary moving against, like, man, the comfortability of the pain, you know. Like, I'm like, man, I know that pain, but I'm finna go out here on this journey by myself.
You know, I don't want to feel that pain no more. I gotta lived in it too long. It's time to do something. But life is making everybody change. Like, you know, out here in Georgia, they're rebuilding, they're moving. Even the neighborhoods where it's run down, you know, they're eventually moving people out, moving those neighborhoods out, building up all this new construction and stuff like that. So life is moving you out anyway. The thing is that, what do you do when it catches up to you, when you've been so trained to just live this way? And then now this way is just getting shuffled away with apartment buildings and complexes and all the new fancy stuff. How much further do you get pushed before you say, you know what? I better do something now.
Yeah, it's like that. And now is the time. Like, when you know you're not in a certain situation, a lot of us do this. A lot of us, again, when I say comfortable with the pain, you know, a lot of us comfortable. Like, even though we know we're not where we want to be, we're comfortable because we know this pain. We had this pain for 20 years.
Forever.
Like, this stress, cool. I know this stress.
Right.
It's really killing you slow. You know, it's killing you slow. So yeah, then what happens?
That's what they want us to do anyway. They find it, you know, they want us to die off anyway. So I don't know who they are. You know, we always say the man, the this, the that, life, you know. There's
the thing. That's something that's crazy too, because as we throw that name around, the man, it's something in us that know, like, something ain't right.
Right.
Because we identify with that. Hold on, why we only gotta live like this? It's something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know, man. Just like I feel like, but though, like, I must say this though too. As a whole though, like even in Atlanta, I love the fact that I can walk into a restaurant and everybody black, from the manager, the owner, the people.
Exactly.
That's for me. That's empowerment. That's a step in the right direction.
Right. That's the change.
We live in a capitalistic society, so if we if we haven't started to generate our own generational wealth, step towards being able to, you know, not subject ourselves to only having to sell drugs. Because now the kid grew up where he knew he had a job when he turned 15 because I own a restaurant. He got a job now, you know, and so small changes, man, like, you can do a lot. Like, and that's what I love about Atlanta. When I was down there, I've been in Atlanta like 4 times in the last month, and so I see That's empowering. That's empowering for sure.
Right, right. Because it's a money move. Everything right now is, like you said, there's a money flow out here. And if you know how to catch it and get on it and do, like, since with the COVID, when it started, it made so many people entrepreneurs. A lot of people was forced to be entrepreneurs, where some people was like, I'm gonna jump on the entrepreneur wagon, because they already had like a savings. But the ones that were like forced to be entrepreneurs because of loss of jobs, that whole thing that when, happens. But now there's money out here. The thing is to tap in on how to get the money to, improve and empower yourself and make a difference like you are. You're such a powerful person. You have just like a big, great story. Tell everybody how they can find you and help you while you're helping the community at the same time.
Most definitely, most definitely. First off, you could definitely support by streaming music anywhere music is sold. Look up King Moosa. That's KingMoosa. Follow me here on IG at KXNG_Moosa. And all the rest of the platforms, just look up King Moosa, man. Feel free to DM me, man, inbox me, man. Let me know what you're thinking, what you thought about the interview. Ask me how you can help. And if you're creative, I don't care if you shoot videos, you write short stories, you're a poet. Get at me, man, and we can work for sure. Because I'm all about connecting. I got this strong belief that your net worth will eventually be your network, and so and vice versa. Your network is your net worth, and so who you know is important. And so get at me. You know what I'm saying? Get at me.
Right.
Man. We go take it there. We go take it there together.
Exactly. And as you move further, this is such a great story. And, it's because it's happening. It's just all over. Like you said, you was a child and just the advantage that was taken of you. And in so much time of your life, where if somebody said, this is a kid, this can't be done. So look how many kids are in that position now. With no one I can't even say with no one to help, because now they have you out here fighting for those things to happen. And us on the outside, we don't know. We may hear stories, some people come out, they start something for a little while, and then they're overwhelmed and they don't continue it. And then that's, it's a big thing. It's a big thing, so nobody can say, well, if he didn't go further, man. It's a big thing because now you have thousands of people calling on you, so many different stories, so many different energies, negative, positive, hitting you right and left. And it's you standing strong, making a difference.
No question. And even knowing that, right? Even realizing that give me enough power to keep going. If I wasn't step outside of myself and see the importance of myself, I wouldn't have the energy, because it do get tiring. It gets tiring. Having this many people lean on you on a daily, and you still have to be strong and understand that I'm doing it for more than me. I'm sacrificed. That's the sacrifice, though. Like 100. That's the sacrifice. Sacrifice is that, because personally, I think that it would have been more healthy for me to just come home and focus on self and not worry about. I just did 13 years in prison. I deserve some time. I deserve some time.
Right.
True, which is true. But also, this is what the Malcolms made of. This is what Pac is made of. You know what I'm saying? This is what Martin made of. Like, this is what those individuals who never forgotten about, is made of, because they decided to be like, I'm the one. I'm gonna be
the one. You know what I'm saying? I sat there. This ain't right. I'm gonna be the one. And thank God you are the one. You see, in life, this was your story. This is, how people say this is what God put you here for. If that didn't happen to you, this wouldn't be going on now. Nobody wanted that to happen to you, but because it did, now this is what you're doing. So this is your mark in life, helping the Black men, because y'all are, like you said, an endangered species. Yes. You've always been that anyway. They've tried to take you from out the home since day one. So now look at all the tricks and the gimmicks that they're doing. So let me ask you this question here. With what you're doing, has anybody ever come against you? Like, cut that out. You can't do that. Stop it. Mind your business.
Oh man, when I first came home, the next day, I was attacked by the media, social media. I mean, not social media, but the news. And so they was basically attacking the governor, but using me as a pawn. They was like, how can you let this aggressive, violent person home early? And so what happened was, you got to think, Trump had already made it comfortable with people saying anything. So I got my inbox, I got people telling me they're going to kill me when they see me. The governor did injustice. They go take matters into their own hands, all type of stuff. So now, I remember, I never forget, I always tell the stories that I remember the first time I was at home by myself, I was so nervous. I'm like, man, I got to get a gun. I got to get a gun. I'm reading all this propaganda. I'm reading all this stuff people saying. I don't know who real, who not. Again,
you don't know who's who. Right.
Social media at this point. So I'm only home 3-4 days, and I'm like, damn, people want me dead, like, for real. And so it's like, now I'm tempted on violent parole, like, for my safety. I'd rather survive. Right. You know, I'd rather, if I get caught with this gun, I'd rather, you know, pay a lawyer.
Right, because I'm protecting my life now. I just got out. I'm getting threatened. Now I got to protect my life and hope, you know, that it comes out for the better. Wow.
That happened. And so that was the first opposition that I felt. But of course, it's always an opposition. You know, it's always somebody. Even I see it sometimes. I've done interviews with people where I can tell they really didn't want to interview me. They really didn't. I needed this opportunity or deserve this opportunity. But all in all, we do. And I know why. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what I'm up against. So anybody who opposes, we can sit down and we can talk casually. We can discuss it. We'll get to the bottom of it. I think that you can't go against righteous, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't go against
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this for the reason I'm doing it. Ain't nobody stopping. And not even me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's happening. And so I'm gonna continue to do what I do, man. I appreciate this for sure. This interview mean a lot. We definitely talked about a lot of good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of good stuff. Every time you said something, it led to another question. So now we need a part 2. So from now to further down, when you get some more things moving and shaking, definitely hit me up so I can follow up on your story, because, you know, I got sons and they got kids and they got sons. So, you know, it goes repeatedly. So if there's a way to stop and help, or even to tell somebody, hey, y'all better look up King Moosa. He got it going on helping people coming out from incarceration. So make sure you definitely stay in touch with me, because I would like to find out more how you're progressing. And I'm definitely going to keep you in my prayers, because this is a big job and a journey that you're heading towards and that you're doing. And you started it by yourself, and help is coming your way. You're going to get help. You're going to get funding. You're going to get what you need. More people's going to hear the story. And like you said, there are people out there that are willing to help people. Sometimes people don't know the stories until someone like you comes along and tells the story. Now people is like, oh, wow, we got to find him and help him out.
Yeah. So I will be back. I might come
definitely
back. Might come back when I drop this EP or this album. I'll hit you up, let you know, like, let's go talk about it. And
definitely do that. Do you have a chorus or anything you want to rap to us or tell us, or a bar or something you want to spit out real quick before we end this?
I got a 16 in pain. I can hit. I always got something in the tank. But I say since 14 I was incarcerated. Thought of that shit nauseating. Smelling handcuffs make my head hurt. Smell looking way smaller lately. I wake up like, man, this can't be life. I'm in the mirror like this can't be right. I'm uncle of 5. I'm playing with Makai, just thinking it's crazy. I'm not in the life. Day one, still the love of your life. Out of your mind, we're not in their sight. Do stick around for part of that time. They feel like you owe them the rest of your life. Quick to say that we ain't missing. Why they steady say that silly Time flies since someone dies and we left regretting every second you miss. King. So yeah, man. Something slight, man. Follow that, man.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you so much for your time tonight, talking to us, explaining what's going on, telling us your story and letting us into your life at the same time. We're praying for you. We're hoping the best for you. And we're going to wait for part 2 to come up in a few months and find out where you went from here.
We up.
All right, definitely. Everybody, King Moosa, make sure y'all look him up. Check out his story. Definitely go on YouTube. Listen to his music. His music is about his story. He was supposed to do 25 years. God got him out in 13. So, hey, he's got this message that he wants to help everybody that's incarcerated and help them get to the next step. It was unfair justice. He's here. He survived. He made it. We got you. We got you. You have a good night. Thank you so much. Shout out to CC Vance for sending you my way. If she didn't, I would have never known your story. So now whoever's watching,
that's it right there.
It gets passed on now. So now more people, they watch and they can be like, wait, we might have to help this guy.
Sure.
Definitely. You have a good
follow me, man. I'll follow back. Let's continue to grow.
Right, definitely. Thank you so much. King Moosa, everybody. Make sure y'all check him out. YouTube, Instagram. Make sure y'all connect. Help him out. Support. Thank you, and you have a good evening.
You too. Appreciate it.
All right. All right, everybody. We was talking with King Moosa. Powerful story. Young man. He was supposed to do 25 years. Got caught up in some stuff. Wound up doing 13. And now he came out and he's helping other guys that's incarcerated. You know, of course, the Lord takes on what they want to do when you're a child. He was a child when his situation happened. So make sure y'all check him out. Check out his music, support, like he said, hit him up if you have something that can help him out, go further, nonprofit, organizations. Make sure y'all help him out. Men's mental health awareness is so important. It's so important. The Black man is so important out here. He's the head of the family. That's what he's here for, not to be taken away by nonsense and bullshit. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to the interview with Booby Taylor Show. If you have a story that you want to get out, hit me up on the email, in the DM, and let's talk about it. Let's talk, y'all. Everybody, thanks for tuning in, and you have a good Sunday evening. Thank you. It's the interview with Booby Taylor.